Hello, everyone. We are going to have a Sun-Jupiter square, a cardinal square, which is actually going to be a T-square. You will see it in a minute. And this gives us occasion to think about, to ponder about luck. How lucky are you? How lucky are we in general, as a nation or as a group or as a family? And if you look around, and especially if you look around your loved ones or your family members or your friends, you will see that yes, there are some people who are much luckier or seem to be much luckier than others. And luck is expressed not just by wealth or knowledge or predispositions that link you to success. Simply, luck is something magical. It describes something that you don't really seem to have power over. And well, if you have a Sun-Jupiter aspect, then luck is on your plate, so to speak. So let's take a look at the chart, and I will explain it further. And it will occur, the exact square will occur on October 17th at 6:43 London time. So it is below, the sun is still below the horizon. So if you look out, maybe an hour before that, you will find a very bright Jupiter up in the middle of the sky. And it is still very close to the brightest object in the sky, which is Sirius. And Sirius is still in the morning sky, so soon it will be an evening constellation, Orion and with its Sirius and the great dog. Anyhow, if you take a look at this aspect, we have a Libra rising with a Libra sun in the first house. We have a Virgo moon conjunct trans Pluto, the object of dimension jump. And the Uranus-Sedna conjunction is still very tight. Uranus will soon go back into Taurus, and then it will remain there until next April. And Neptune is about to go back into its own sign, Pisces. By the new moon, it will be already in Pisces. I think I have to check this out. And in the upcoming days, we will have an applying Mercury-Mars conjunction. Mercury-Mars is always about how you can assert yourself through words. This is a conjunction, so you will be able to do it, especially if you do have such a conjunction. I have a square, and it's a very difficult aspect because either you feel that you are being hurt through words, or you are the one who is hurting others. That's the impact of the square, unfortunately. But with the conjunction, you can actually learn how to assert yourself through words. So that is the space-time moment. Those are the highlights of the space-time moment. So let's take a look at the complex planetary picture, which is around 24, 25 degrees. And as you can see, it's not just one single cardinal square, but it is a cardinal T-square because as the sun is squaring Uranus, sun is squaring Jupiter, sorry, it is also opposite Chiron Eris. Chiron Eris is this year's and next year's main karmic astrological aspect. So is, by the way, Uranus and Sedna, the conjunction between Uranus and Sedna, but this is very rare because Chiron's orbital period is 51 years, and Eris has 558-ish years. So more than 10 times more than Chiron. But at the moment, Chiron is very slow. In Aries, it takes Chiron to cross it in 12 years instead of 4.5 years, which is the average ingress in a sign. So this is a rare aspect. Actually, this occurred last time 50 years ago, around 12 degrees Aries. So those who were born in 71, 72 have this aspect. And now it is repeated. And Chiron is karmic wounds, and Eris means drastically altered outward circumstances. So this is it. And the sun is highlighting and illuminating them at the moment. And the the T-square has the Jupiter as its apex. So how lucky are we? How great is our luck? This is the question actually. Under drastically altered circumstances and a lot of pain and suffering that is coming out. So this is one thing. The other thing is on the other side of this T-square, we have a dissolved opposition. The Sun Chiron Eris opposition is dissolved by Astrea, the karma breaker. So actually we have a trine between the outer and the inner karma breaker. The outer karma breaker, of course, is Eris, because it simply describes outward circumstances that lift you out of your equilibrium and push you to act. So that is why it's an outside karma breaker. And Astrea means that you want to change. You want to implement things in your life which will break old embedded karma. And now they are in a trine, so that's quite nice. And at the same time, we have a cardinal water engine, Jupiter, Chiron, Eris, and Black Moon. And we actually also have a cardinal fire engine with Astrea, Chiron, Eris, and Jupiter right here. And we have a couple of little engines as well. But if you look at the whole configuration, what really counts is luck and enthusiasm and growth, Jupiter, the sun as the ego development and the illuminator, Chiron Eris, drastically altered outward circumstances and resulting karmic wounds, Astrea, the karma breaker, and Black Moon Lilith, which describes the third turning point of the Lilith myth. And it gives you the ability to know what needs to be done and to provide stamina and steadiness and perseverance and also knowledge and insight and clairvoyance. So that's the Black Moon, one of my favorite archetypes, of course. Okay, and here are the transcendental celestial objects. If you are here for the first time or you haven't been here for a while, let me remind you of the color coding. There are 3 types of transcendental celestial objects in karmic astrology. There are 2 belts in the solar system. The one is the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. These are the asteroids that describe the personal karmic issues. And there's another belt behind Neptune. This is the Kuiper belt. It has many regions, which I'm not going to elaborate here. But anyhow, the Kuiper belt objects are, okay, there are many labels that astronomers use. I use centaurs for each and everyone. Although, for instance, Huya is a so-called Plutino, so it has an orbital resonance with Pluto, but just for the sake of easiness, we call them centaurs. Centaurs are describing our karmic wounds, which can develop into 2 main pathways. One is that they can become a phobia, a really serious phobia. And the other one is that they become very nice traits, ingenious traits, if you can conquer your phobias, of course, and the pain they are creating in you. But of course, both are possible. So they are color-coded blue, these trans-Neptunian objects. And then the red ones are fixed stars. Now, fixed stars are not part of the solar system. They're part of the universe. They're not 3D objects. They don't belong to the 3D world. They represent higher dimensional worlds where the soul, which is a higher dimensional entity, can develop there. And there are 2 main reasons for fixed stars to visit fixed stars. One is to heal from a really difficult lifetime here on Earth, or to prepare for a really difficult lifetime to develop some special traits which you would be unable to gain here down on the Earth plane. So these are the color codes. And let's take a look at what's happening to the sun. There's 2 very bright stars which we are going to look at: Arcturus, which is Alpha Boots, and Spica, which is Alpha Virgo. We are going to look at them in a minute. They're very close on the ecliptical degree, but not in the sky. They have 2 very different versions of the sky. And Atropos, which is the third of the fates, cutting the life thread, and Hannibal, who was a very victorious and clever and cunning general. On Jupiter, you have Cerberus, the three-headed monster dog of the underworld who is guarding the underworld. And if you consider the underworld as your own personal subconscious, it's nice that something is guarding it, because if someone would confront you with your own ideas, your own thoughts, your own wishes throughout the day, and at the end of the day they would give you a list, and this is how many times you wish someone to die, this is how many times you said something horrible, this, you wouldn't be very happy. So it's nice that we have a Cerberus. And Pollux, which is Beta Gemini, it is still there. Jupiter is very slowly moving at the moment, and Pollux is the second, the beta star of Gemini, but actually it is now brighter than Castor, which is the alpha star. On Chiron Eris, we have Abundancia, and on Astrea, we have abundance, of course, you know that. Avicenna, who was a medieval, actually the 12th century doctor, physician, magician, and Avicenna is the Latinized name of Ibn Sina. Huya, which is a centaur, which is actually a TNO, a trans-Neptunian, and it's a Venezuelan rain god. And this particular object is linked to magic. How there's a very, very thin dividing line between white and black magic, and what turns anything into black magic is the intention. And Grumium, which is Xida Draco, which I'm going to look at in a minute. And on Black Moon Lilith, we have Epimetheus, who is the brother of Prometheus, and his name means Epimetheus means that the one who knows after. And although he's quite often ridiculed in Greek mythology, in karmic astrology we link the ability to him the ability to learn from your deeds and actions and mistakes, how you can actually think back and say, this is where I made a mistake, this is what I should learn for next time. So the ability to make hindsight suggestions to yourself, that's Epimetheus. So here's Spica and Arcturus. As you can see, there's barely less than half a degree discrepancy between the two zodiacal positions. So this is the zodiacal positions. Spica is on the ecliptic because, of course, Virgo is an ecliptical constellation, but Boots with Arcturus, which is a very bright star, is up there in the northern sky. So these are two very different sky positions or places in the sky, in the night sky, but still they have the same astrological degree. This is quite common. For instance, there are many stars like they are the same astrological degree, but very, very different from each other. Acrux and Alphecca is such a pair, or are such a pair. Anyhow, Spica is one of the best stars to have in your astrological chart if you have it aligned with anything. Only conjunctions are, and parallels, very, very tight parallels are what counts. And so you can't have, with fixed stars, you can't have any other aspects simply because they are not on the ecliptic. They are out in the universe. And Spica gives you the potential for brilliance. And Arcturus is a fifth dimensional world where child victims, the souls of child victims are healed. Those who die very early as a result of abuse or neglect are being taken to Arcturus, where they are slightly, nicely, gently nursed back into believing that the earth thing could be nice as well. And those people who have Arcturus prominent in their chart usually either don't have any children because they don't want to bring them into the third dimension yet, or they have children and they are very, very good mothers and fathers in the best sense. They provide what's really good for the children. And here's Gumium, which is the mouth of the celestial dragon. Here's the Little Dipper with Polaris. And as you can see, the celestial dragon is kind of winding around Polaris, the pole star. And here's Gumium, which is the mouth of the celestial dragon. And the dragon is protecting or creating treasures And because it's the mouth of the dragon, of course, these treasures are knowledge or anything that is non-tangible and cerebral. So those are linked to Grumium. And here's a complex planetary picture, another one around 5 to 7 degrees. As you can see, these are all feminine archetypes. And by the way, I did make here a couple of mistakes because I forgot. I just realized that I never finished. And Venus, of course, has Achilles. Sorry about that. Okay, I just realized that I wanted to correct this, but I never had the time. And I'm not going to remake this video because I'm making mistakes. What can we do? I'm fumbling. First of all, English is not my first language. It's my third language. I was born in Germany, so I started speaking in both in German and Magyar when I was very, very young. And it was the two languages that I used until like 6 when I went to primary school here in Budapest. And then I learned English, so it's my third language anyhow. So I apologize for any mistakes and my fumbling with stupid things anyhow. So here's a complex planetary picture. And as I said, what is really fascinating in this one is that these are all feminine archetypes, and sometimes quite diverse, and sometimes quite juxtaposed with each other. The moon, of course, is your spiritual essence and motherhood and mothering. And Trans-Pluto means dimension jump and channeling. Trans-Pluto is Persephone, so you can check out the legend for Persephone. Ceres is the nurturing principle and feeding. It's the type of mother who thinks that he loves you best when he cooks you a big, big pot of casserole or something like that. So that's what's happening there. And you should eat this, otherwise I know that you won't love me, something like that. Anyhow, and Pallas Athena is the wise girl, the goddess of wisdom. Juno is the first lady of committed, serious relationships. Venus is the goddess of love, carnal love and physical love, and also the goddess of money and well-being and harmony and things like that. We have a classic trapeze, and out of the classic trapeze, the base is the opposition between Venus and Ceres. And yes, they are really juxtaposed because Ceres is the mother and Venus is the lover. So of course they are opposed. But a classic trapeze is always a place where you can step up and you can give the others what you think is valid, or your knowledge, or your whatever, your talent. And the inside of the trapeze are two trines. One is the Venus Pallas Athena trine. These are again two very different archetypes. Venus is the lover, and Pallas Athena is a single woman who doesn't care for committed relationships or any type of relationship really. Pallas Athena never had a man. She never actually made out with a man, or never actually got married. He just served Athens and her father Zeus. That's it. And the other trine could be reconciled very nicely. Ceres is the mother, the nurturing principle, and Juno is the wife. So mother and wife, of course, could be reconciled. And the top of the trapeze is a Juno Pallas Athena sextile. And again, those could actually be reconciled, although again, Juno is the committed wife and Pallas Athena is the single woman. But you could learn to be independent and wise like Pallas Athena within a committed relationship. That is what this particular classic trapeze provides us. And then there's also Finger of Fate with Ceres, Pallas Athena, and the Moon and Trans-Pluto. And there's also a mutable fire engine between Moon, Trans-Pluto, Ceres, and Juno. So these are the ones that you can actually look around, but it's the fact that these are only feminine archetypes. And when we look at the transcendental celestial objects, actually we only have asteroids, so there's also only the personal level, and only two male archetypes, Lucifer and Achilles. Achilles, of course, is the hero who has one single problem or one single weakness, which causes his death, his downfall. Each hero has this. That's what it teaches us. And Venus, the goddess of love, provides us with such potentials, because when you are in love, you are very vulnerable. On the moon trans Pluto, there's another masculine archetype, Lucifer, who is the questioner, who is questioning God all the time. And it's very interesting because Lucifer, the name Lucifer means the bringer of light. And yes, the function of this archetype is to bring to light whatever discrepancies, problems, shortcomings there are on the manifested world. So that's what it is. And there's also Fortuna, fortune, the goddess of fortune, and Anahita, who is the creator goddess. Again, something that you can only understand in Magyar. In Magyar, Anahita means Anyahit, the belief of mother. So that's what the name means. On Venus, you have, I said, Achilles. On the Ceres, you have Freya, the love and war goddess of the northern mythology. On Pallas Athena, you have Urania, one of the muses, celestial muse. And on Juno, you have Sekhmet, the lion goddess of Egyptians, and Astarias, the goddess of divination. And that's it. So that's our space-time moment for the Sun-Jupiter square, cardinal square, which is actually a T-square involving not just Jupiter, luck, personal luck, abundance, and the sun, which gives you the energy, but also Chiron, Eris, drastically altered outward circumstances, and the pain it causes. Thank you for listening, and good luck. Bye-bye.